What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Black Lodge Games live stream. We are here. We are on time, obviously. Didn't have any technical difficulties tonight, other than technically I needed another Newport.
Perennially the case.
Yeah, we got it on live chat. I can already hear the clacking of keyboards. Put that in a bit. What's up, guys?
How we doing?
What do we got here? Napkins. Got some napkins. All right, let's see who's here. Actually, do need this to go this way. This arm is right in my face. There we go. Now I can see.
All right.
All right. Rolling Stag, good to see you, man. He says, my
What's
bet
up?
the observer changes the observed.
Ooh,
Potentially.
that's deep.
Yeah. Can't wait to see GMs roleplay their players' characters for them. Exactly. Good old, we do love
That did
and
not
miss
happen.
Shauner. Yeah. It did not happen. Negative Wisdom saying actual play, more like actually gay. Wow, got him. One, it's fake. We'll get to this.
Yes.
FGR. I think I know what that means. Howdy, everyone. How's it going today?
up?
Good to see you. Scrooge McHaddock saying this week's subject on X is paladins. Scrooge, did you change your name? Because I see that little profile picture and it looks familiar. I don't really care about paladins.
I saw some people asking about or posing the question as to why there aren't that many paladins. I didn't dive deep into any of the
Yeah,
discussions.
it's hard
but
to be a paladin.
yeah, it's why Dragonlance is great. There are no paladins per se.
Right.
You're just a knight.
A knight. Can't rip. Says don't immerse in the story, immerse in our presentation of the story. Don't imagine, see us imagining. Yeah. Don't engage in playing the game, follow and spectate.
Afternoon, gentlemen from Australia.
Ah,
Oh,
thank
shit.
you,
What's up,
Mercurius,
man?
for $2. Let me turn
Thank you,
this up
sir.
a bit. I'm gonna have to turn the music down though. Also, I don't know what's going on, but the Spotify app won't let us play music through the audio device. So we have to play it through the browser. There we go. Let me know if the music needs to come down, please. Don't consider the details of the situation. Instead, see and be affirmed by our representation of our views of the modern world for a modern audience. Conform.
That's the case for some.
For some,
Not for
yeah.
us.
It's not. That's not a necessity of the medium, though.
Correct.
You mean social justice warriors, Scrooge? Charlie, who? I don't know who that is. How late will we be? We were dead on time. 8:30 on the dot. How's it going? Good to see you, Squat Bench.
What's up?
Squat Bench Deadlift. Dyson Anarchy. And we got Primeval Fantasy.
Good to see you, man.
And he put up a video recently that you all should
He did,
watch.
which was great.
Yeah.
And just as ever, makes me more and more interested for his game. I
Once
want to hear
again,
more about it.
Our top guy, Butt Quack. Jack McCarthy took that spot last time, so I think they're in competition. You're both number 2
There's a-
right now.
A bare knuckle brawl
Yeah.
happening
There's
in
a-
the pits
You're
below
both
the
number
Black
2.
Lodge.
We currently don't have a top guy until one of you kills the other in combat. Butt Quack says, I'm the one guy who likes actual plays. Not shitical butthole, though. That's fake and jeer lame. Okay. Grognard, good to see you, man.
What's up, man?
We are still recovering from Long Con. I'm finally not coughing like a maniac anymore. I think I had bronchitis. Because it was like 2 weeks and it didn't stop. 6:31, officially late. Check your clock, man.
Yeah.
I think you're wrong on that.
Clock wrong.
Yeah. Guess those cigs won't smoke themselves. You're damn right. Big late games. You've done it again. Ooga booga, primitive Christians are the future. All right. Critical Role doesn't do actual plays, just like WWE isn't a combat sport. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. We're all dogs trapped in Critical Role's hot car.
I don't think we are, though.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah. I don't.
The only reason that
I've never watched an episode of Critical Role.
I've never watched a whole episode. I've definitely seen pieces.
I've seen pieces.
Yeah. Critical Role went from a Pathfinder game with buddies into a new reality TV show. Yeah. New reality D&D TV show. Yeah. We are live,
That's right.
Benjathan. And I think is that Benjathan Snortikins? It just says Benjathan now. I can enjoy an actual play if there's actual role playing and the players don't waste too much time monologuing. Just get to the action. Of course, an actual play like that is virtually non-existent. This is
We're going to talk more about that.
We're going to talk more about that in the back half. We're going to talk to you guys first. But you're not far off.
Yeah.
The anime was okay at first before it got hoye. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what anime you're talking about. Oh, maybe the Critical Role anime. Because they have
they did a show, which I have not seen.
I would like to point out that Runslinger's actual plays are generally interesting.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
Runeslinger is a unique man.
Yes. There are exceptions.
Yes.
But here's the thing. And we'll talk a little bit about this too. What we are saying is why they are unwatchable. They are unwatchable as YouTube content. They're not something that can take off, really.
Yeah, if you're just doing what you normally do at the table
Yeah.
and just broadcast that,
It's boring as fuck.
it's not content suitable for viewing.
I respect that. A televised game. How is it going, K-Dolo?
What's up?
Cell Socks saying late and flexible. Thank you. I did enjoy the first 1.5 seasons of Critical Role as an audio drama. And that's fine. Like that, we've said that a bunch of times. Like it doesn't bother me that people like Critical Role as entertainment. It's just thinking that is actually a game.
Right.
Is not correct. Yeah. We got a salute from Rolling Stag, Crooked Saint. Hello, how's it going? Christopher Jackson. The only keyboard clacking I hear is my own. Are we talking about Jeremy Crawford and the 2 hours of cocktails and Battlegate? Battlegate. I was thinking BattleTech and Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3? No, we're not. We are actually talking about we filmed an actual play of us, and it's coming out tomorrow.
Yep.
And it was an arduous process.
Yeah, which we'll also get more into.
Definitely get into. But you know what? We got 87 people watching. I do want to show you guys something. Something did come in the mail here.
Ah, yes.
We got our physical proofs, first round, of the Shucked Oyster, both hardcover and soft cover. The cover is gorgeous.
Yeah.
We didn't screw anything up on that.
Quality
The quality is excellent. Yeah. All the internal pages, they look great. They're on the right side that they're supposed to be on.
Pagination is correct.
Yeah, pagination's correct. The
There's just one
hardcover,
tiny detail.
yeah, the hardcover looked almost perfect. I was so excited, but then I opened the soft cover, and unfortunately, there is some issues with bleed around the edges where the paper can shift during printing, and due to inconsistent printing, the soft cover, these black chapter heading titles have a white border around them, as does some of the full page art, which sucks. So what we had to do was go back to our files, extend everything that could possibly be in the bleed to go past the bleed entirely.
Right.
We resubmitted our files over the weekend, and I ordered new copies this morning when the printer confirmed that the files were good. So it's going to be probably another 3 weeks or so before we can get the codes out to you guys. But they're awesome, and I did use this at the table on Saturday in our Axe game. It is awesome. I also fixed, I messed up one of the playtesters' names. I did fix that in the upcoming reprint of this as well. So the Shucked Oyster is coming soon. And if you guys have not checked out the Cults of Zahak Kickstarter, that should be in the description. Click that link, go and help us out back at Cults of Zahak. We are going to be talking about that because our actual play that is coming out tomorrow takes place in the world of Cults of Zahak.
That's right.
Made it for once. Good. Eric's
Nice.
here. Nice. African American Lodge. All right. Mr. Max, who does a lot of live plays,
What's
says,
up,
I
dude?
think class-based games should either have very few classes and allow to multi-class, no paladins, no rangers, etc., or more classes, but not allow multi-classing. Yeah, I agree with that.
I actually don't think if you're doing classes, I don't think there should be multi-classing, because from my perspective, if you're playing in a class-based game, a class really should be some kind of archetype that's emblematic of whatever world or genre you're in. And I really don't like the idea of sort of muddying the waters. I'm not entirely opposed to prestige classes, although I hate that how they were kind of done in 3.0, 3.5, and beyond. That's almost like what I think a paladin should be.
My counterpoint to this is that it is done well in Horde Wars.
That's true.
Because you choose two professions or classes, basically.
But even that...
And you get the benefits of both. And so you can make a wizard knight. You know, you can do this sort of thing. It's very cool.
But that's baked into the assumptions. You don't get to multi-class a third or a fourth.
Correct.
Like later down the line.
Yeah. Hey, folks.
What's up?
I can smell the Newports from here.
Hell yeah.
We were not late. You're a liar. Can't rip. Paladins without any influence of Charlemagne aren't paladins. All right.
He was the guy to make them.
Good to see you, Rex Teal. Rex Teal is in here, by the way.
Damn right he is.
As someone who play tested in Tora's game. Thank you, Tora. Dueling Dragons Adventures. What's up? Ugh. Yeah. What's up, BLG? Nick, you're missing Fish Tank's disability challenge. Each of the fish has to act like they have one.
Yeah. Just like season 1, they're bringing it back. I love Fish Tank.
It's been wild.
It is the best thing in media right now.
My entire Twitter feed and YouTube feed is just Fish Tank clips now.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I don't ever want it to stop.
Right. Con crud is forever. I actually went to the con with the crud. I was patient zero. My friend did a session 0 Sunday. Quite fun. We rolled up 2 bards, a rogue, and a druid. We're already running amok. Nice. Isn't Critical Role canceled?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Only because I feel like I would have seen it pop up somewhere on my feed.
Right.
But I don't know.
Oh, here's one. Here's a good one. Because the chat just jumped to the bottom. Stormcrow says, Black Lodge Games, evening, boys. Up, Doc Flamingo. Back, baby. Nice.
Hell
Thank you
yeah.
for the $5. Finally got my new card in the mail. Banks suck out the ass, but Black Lodge rules the night. Hell yeah.
Thank you, dude.
But Stormcrow here saying, evening, boys. Me and my best friends just got Mythras. We're going crazy with ideas for it. Any recommendations to use it? Cults of Zahak. We are making a Mythras product.
I unironically endorse Cults of Zahak.
Right.
But I would say, I mean, it depends on the world.
Right.
Are you using an existing setting? Are you making your own setting? Depending on what it is, you might be able to get a lot of mileage out of one of the Mythic books if you have not even necessarily a Rome analog, but if you have a setting or a culture that you're playing in that has some of the assumptions and the institutions in some of these pre-modern locations, which the design mechanism has made source books for, I would highly recommend those.
I know you have a lot of the Mythic books, but you have Mythic Britain. I love Mythic Britain. I haven't read that book, but I mean the mythology that comes, like English folklore and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend checking that out. That also is where the ships and shield balls rules derived from. So Mythic Britain has mass combat rules baked in as well if you want to do armies and stuff. I think about the Roman Empire daily, not Critical Role.
Correct.
I've tried to watch actual plays from Critical Role, Dimension 20, and a whole bunch of others because it sounds like something I would like, and I never make it past 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Do they even roll dice in Critical Role? I think so.
I believe they do.
Yeah. I do like watching Crispy Mr. Max fill the thrill for actual plays. Yeah. And they're actually role-playing.
They're role-playing and they're making a concerted effort to remain in character and in the moment.
And here's the thing. If you literally want to watch people play a game or role play, then and you know what you're getting into, then yeah, you could probably sit down. We have some old campaigns on here from like within the Ring of Fire and stuff like that on this channel that you can watch. You can definitely enjoy that. But what I'm saying is for being a YouTube video or like content that is going to, you know, be popular and people are going to watch and actually get some traction and views, it's just not a format that lends itself to that, because people might watch for a few minutes, they tune off.
Yeah.
That's a big sign to YouTube, like, don't push this, you know.
And it isn't even, I don't want to be misunderstood here. It's not, we're not making a kind of cynical argument like, well, if you want to make it on YouTube, you got to do this.
Right.
You got to do it.
No.
It is the case that the media, like what you're doing around a table, is very difficult for someone.
It's not a spectator's activity.
Yeah.
It's because, I mean, we can just start talking about it now. Why not? We're into it. So we were like, we're gonna do a Mythras actual play in the world of Cults of Zahak, and we set up. I have we between us had a bunch of webcams that we set up on the table, and we had one for the dice and for a camera on each of us, and we had our wide angle and everything like that. We're like, we'll cut back and forth. It'll be cool. And
yeah, and the idea initially was
do what we do.
At the table, it's just one-on-one.
One-on-one.
It's
we
not
have
a solo
no
play
plan.
thing, so there is role play
Yeah, there's
happening.
role play back and forth, and the idea was
we'll see what happens. We
Right.
have a premise, and let's see what happens. Let's role
the-
play.
The first time we didn't have a premise. The premise was my character was a pilgrim.
Yeah, we had a
Like
we had a location,
we had a
and
location.
obviously a character.
Right, a character.
And I think the idea initially was, let's start the cameras. We know where broadly
Right.
the game is going to be set. Because you in this case are the player. I
Right.
was running it. You tell me as your character, what are you doing? What are your goals? What's your motivations? And whatever happens.
Yeah. And so we did that. And the first run, we had big technical issues. I had OBS set up wrong. So the webcams, it just choked the CPU. And every single one of those was a slideshow. Like, it was just like, okay,
But we didn't know that until
literally-
after the fact.
We didn't know that until after the fact. And when we were watching the footage back, we were like, okay, this is obviously unusable. We can't do this because the cameras didn't work.
Right.
And
So we did it a second time.
We did it a second time. We ran the same premise, and it went differently.
It went very differently.
Very, very differently. Because we followed the rules and we actually role played. And and that time everything worked, so to speak. But we were cutting it together and we're like, this can't be a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to watch this. I was like,
Right.
and it was crazy because like we were so in the moment,
It felt really
in it,
fast because the idea is this is going to be one or two role-play encounters or probably one
Right.
combat encounter, whatever happens first, whatever, one, at most two situations, two
Right.
scenes are going to take place because the idea, let's cut this down into like 30 to 40 minutes.
Right.
And how long could a scene
Right.
be? And it felt really fast.
Really fast. But the file was an hour and 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And what felt really fast in the moment was not fast at all.
Right.
Even cutting things down. Like because we were sitting there, and it's like we like to be in character. We like to do a lot of description and all of that stuff. Like Nick is amazing at description when he's running a game. Like puts you there. But we're sitting there and we're watching it and we're like, this description, it's like, I can see in my mind the retention graph on the video
Golems
just
without
plummeting.
use of Kabbalah on the Tetragrammaton are unreal golems.
Golems
Well,
without the use of Kabbalah and the Tetragrammaton aren't real golems. Okay,
Well,
for $5.
those kinds of golems don't exist in this world.
That's true. Our golems are not the golems of
The tribes.
the tribes of Jewish myth. Yeah. But we're cutting out all the dead air, and we're getting to a point where like, okay, well, we just need to cut a lot of this description because it's like this is if
let's
someone
cut
tried
and
watching
absolutely
this,
any unnecessary.
Yeah.
description, but there was so much to cut.
Yeah.
That it was the footage was jerky
and like it just didn't fucking work.
Right.
And so then we're like, okay, we're gonna take this down, and we're gonna just come up with something new. I'll make new characters, because we were like, we'll just use my character that I'm using in the game that we're playing with Spencer.
Right.
Place him in a different place in the world. You know, it's like a different timeline, whatever. But we're like, we just dropped this premise. We've already done it twice. We can't do this. Oh shit!
Oh.
$10. Mr. Biden.
What the hell, Biden?
Mr. President. All right. An actual play is good for instruction, not entertainment. It's been said before, once you oblige yourself to the audience, you are no longer just gaming, and you're certainly not role-playing. I don't think that's true, but there's just...
I can't go with you all the way.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but there has to be different parameters if you're making something that is to be entertaining to other people. Because
Right.
what we started doing was very entertaining to us. To us. And then when we watched it back, we're like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like as a video to watch. So we were like, okay, we're going to do this a third time. New characters, new premise. What we're going to do, we're going to write up a description. That's just a voiceover introduction to the video that sets the scene, so we don't have to. We don't
have to
be
do
tempted.
that in the scene.
Yeah, we're not going to be tempted to do that in the scene and waste a bunch of useful time. And we did it, and we're cutting it together, and it was getting there, but it was still like we still set up the scene, and there was all this dialogue going back and forth,
Right.
but it just wasn't working, and we didn't want to do it again. Yeah. But we were like, we're so close.
We're into it 3 times.
Yeah, we're into it 3 times. In for a penny, in for a pound. We were like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're just doing that description. We're rejecting our own temptation to really jump in or to really chew the scene, do any of that. And it's
Right.
like, we're gonna start off. We know what the premise of the scene is. We're gonna start off. We had like 2 lines of dialogue between each other, and then jump into the action.
Yeah.
Which is what we did, and I think it came out really good this time. It's pretty dynamic. And again, this this played out very differently a second time again, because if you just sit
Every
there,
single time we played the situation,
and we played to what was happening with the dice rolls, and it just was
the outcomes were
radically
very, very different.
Yeah, radically different outcomes. In that third time that we did it, there was also a problem of the combat that we were running. Like the other combats, all of the other 3 were pretty quick in terms
Right.
of like the game running, and they had a resolution fairly quickly. This one did not. We had lots of
misses,
like
yeah.
whiffed shots. And then there was a point at which, like, if we were thinking in terms of like making content, you know, it would have been time to have wrapped up the fight way previously. Nick's character, I had the bad guys on the run. They're trying to leave, but my character's like, no.
Which is
what
you would
my
have done
character would
as the
do.
character.
Yeah.
You were role playing.
Right. I was role playing. But again, that felt even faster. That was an hour and 20 minutes.
Right.
And this was a single scene that we were doing. But this last time we were just like, nope, cut to the action. Like, we're just jumping into an action scene. We're going to play this balls to the wall,
Waste
high octane.
0 time.
Yeah, 0 time.
Kill any temptation to like you said, to really elaborate
Yeah.
on the scene. Keep the descriptions
Like
brief.
fast and brief.
Yeah. And let's get to the action of the situation. Then
Right.
in this
The
case,
thing
we were
that
doing
is-
a combat, so
Yeah.
we can do brief descriptions of our action, of what each character is doing as they're attacking, defending, avoiding,
Right.
whatever the case may be. But just keep it moving, keep it moving.
Right. And the more and more that we did this, we were like, this is, if you're going to make this a format for YouTube content, it
Yeah.
basically has to be a single scene.
It has to
It has
have
to be a single
really
It has to be a high stakes situation.
structured walls.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah, exactly. There needs to be a lot more parameters on this for this to be something that is like a piece of entertainment. While still, it's like we came up with a strong premise and then played that. We didn't script. There was no scripting or anything like that.
Yeah, it could have gone
Like-
any way.
Yeah. I
Again,
played two characters because it was like
one or both of them could have died,
we're not wearing armor
and
either.
one of them might be dead. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we weren't scripting anything apart from the narrative description at the beginning, setting the stage. Here's where we are.
Right.
Here's what's going on. Boom, into the action. Whatever happens, happens, but it's tight.
Yeah.
We're not going beyond the scope. If anything, any later consequences, if anything, they'll be for later. They're not
Right.
for right now.
Biden's asleep right now, I think,
Damn.
guys. I'm sorry. Thank you for the $10 though, Andrew
Thank you,
Thomas. To me, D&D, for instance, is for those who are playing. Critical Role is a performance for the audience, not those who are playing. Correct.
Yes.
The players are getting off from the audience instead of the game. My opinion. A correct opinion.
Yeah.
We wanted to do something that was fun, and it was fun. Fun for us, but also could be entertaining to the audience. And
And this
so
is
we went
also
back to like while we were going through this, we're like, how does Trevor do this at Me, Myself, and Die? Because he's just solo gaming, doing his thing. He's doing lots of roles, and that's exactly what he's doing. Is like high stakes, high octane situation.
Right.
I'm not going to sit around and role play multiple characters back and forth to any large extent. It's like it's just got to move.
Yeah. Now for him, his format is
It's different.
slightly different because it's a solo thing. He's not chewing on the scene.
Right.
He is chewing on the what will happen next. The interpreting the Oracle. What is the book he uses? The Master
Mythic GM
Mythic
emulator.
GM emulator.
Right.
And that's fair. That's clearly part of the draw of showing people how or what solo gaming
Right.
looks like.
And the thing is, it's like I said, like we had so much to cut, and it's not because we're like bad improvisers. We're both really, really good at that. But it was just we just realized we're like, this is not for us. It is for us, but it's not for us in the way that we can't just record ourselves playing a game.
Yeah, it's
just a different fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a different kind of content, and it's a different kind of activity
Right.
that you're doing. If you're going into this wanting from the outset to put this out to an audience for spectators to watch and comment on, we were role playing, but not with the same kind of freedom and the same kind of what am I saying? Not freedom of choice, but
I don't know what you're saying.
because you're confining it to one situation. The actions of play cannot go outside of these walls.
Yep.
Otherwise, the whole thing gets too muddied and too diluted.
Right.
And you have that in mind as you're role playing. How can you not? But within those bounds, you're sort of maintaining an extra level of focus to keep this in the here and the now, and the repercussions in the here and now of whatever actions are taking place. So, but it's not a radio drama. We're not dictating. We're not reading War of the Worlds, right?
Yeah.
Or we're not putting on a radio drama of The Shadow. There is still role play. It's just much more focused and contained role play.
Right. Especially as like a pre-recorded format. You might be able to get away with this live if you had really dedicated fans that wanted to stick around and watch that. Like if
watch it in the moment,
watch it in the
maybe.
moment. Yeah, but it's just very, very different trying to make it, actually a piece of entertainment. It turns out that just recording what you and your friends think is cool isn't that cool to everybody.
Right.
Actual plays almost always suck. RPGs are experiential. Yes, it is hard to convey that experience to an audience and remain authentic. Yeah.
Correct.
It's hard even for an audience to understand like why you would find it compelling if you're just watching the people do it, even though it's like, because it could be you're doing something really technical with the fight, or you're just sitting there in character, or you're really trying to think through what's our next move, like what are we doing, like you will be in the moment, time will be flying, it will be the most compelling thing ever, but it's just a couple guys sitting around a table otherwise.
Right.
After watching that Crawford game last night on D&D show, I can watch anything. Well, I don't know what are you guys talking about?
I don't know what this is, but
this is I'm not familiar with that. Probably because we've just been role playing.
we've been doing this all week, trying
week.
to make it work.
And we did make it work.
I think we did. That is the thing. It's like, and other people have said this, and we have said it before. The connection that you have at the table with the game itself and with the other players around the table, that is real. That is, the most authentic kind of role playing. That doesn't mean you can't make a connection with an audience after the fact, but it is a mistake to try and make that same connection with the audience, because it's just not possible. Right. We can't breathe underwater. Fish can't walk on two legs. It's just not the case.
Yeah. The only reason I've ever tried watching actual plays before is so I can see how the mechanics are like, how the PCs interact and affect the world. I rarely got either. Well, you're going to get that tomorrow.
Yes.
And I would hope that you guys keep an eye out for it tomorrow. It's called The Butchers of Avalok BLG Actual Play Episode 1 or something like that. It's got the thumbnail has a big, just a hand holding a fucking meat cleaver, and it says like blood in the streets or something. Watch that video tomorrow, and let us know what you think.
We really want to get your guys' feedback.
We want to know if this is something that we should continue doing. Because it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun to do.
It wasn't fun realizing 3 times that it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, 3 more times.
We had to do it again. But each time we did it was a lot of fun.
This was an exceptionally hard nut. And I think if we haven't cracked it, I think we're very
close.
well on the way.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased with it. Because we've also made all the same criticisms of Critical Role and actual plays. We agree. I think there is a way to square this circle. And we're not making the argument that we are doing what we do at the table typically.
Because we're not.
We're not. And we're not trying to do that per se. We're trying to still be authentic. and we were. We were
just
authentic.
That wasn't going to work.
And we were role-playing. But
That's
you have
correct.
to, just like... I think this is an appropriate metaphor. Just like the role-play is changed, and the role-play is dictated by genre, by system, by world, by setting... This is just another higher level kind of constraint that you're willingly putting on the roleplay experience to hopefully focus it into something that is valuable and interesting.
Right. Does Black Lodge have a Discord? We do not have a Discord. We do have a locals community, though. blacklodgegames.locals.com. And if you use promo code MIDWIT, MIDWIT, all caps, you'll get a month free. And the people in the locals have already seen the live play because we post our videos there a day early.
Correct.
The problem with Critical Role animated shows is that the language is too anachronistic. They do not speak as they are in a fantasy world, too modern. Yeah, it's not just not just that they speak that way, though. I mean, it's everything about it.
The whole assumptions of the world.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'm sure that's true.
There's one of them has like a gun.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's really bad. I liked the original Critical Role campaign, but the second didn't hold my interest, and the third started with the characters reminding each other of pronouns, so I said our pass. Yeah. Oh, man.
It's rough out there.
So many use the first episode to troubleshoot, don't edit out dead air, etc. And I think that's supposed to be, and don't edit out the dead air.
Right.
We edited out almost all of the dead air.
Yes.
We only left it in if it was kind of expressive. But even then, there wasn't much to cut. We were really just
There was
boom, boom,
much
boom, boom,
less
boom,
to
boom,
cut.
boom. Yeah.
On the fourth one, then
Yeah, it came out to
the first
be...
or the second. The raw footage was like, what, 48 minutes?
It was more than that. It had to have been like probably like 55, I think. And we did our fucking wide angle shot died 8 minutes into it, which
Yeah.
drove me
Sucks, but
insane. It sucked.
we'll get that on the next
We'll
one.
get that on the next one though. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. Please watch it tomorrow. Let us know what you think, because we would like to keep doing this, but we're not going to do it if there's not like if people don't like
people
it.
don't think it's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Or that it doesn't have potential.
Yeah, and it's not like we're like this needs to get 10,000 views or anything like that. It's not that.
That's not what we're expecting.
But if it does below our average, then we
Yeah.
can't really continue with it.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth it.
Correct.
But you did have an actual play before. Last year, you were doing a cyberpunk thing in Miami. Yeah,
That's
and that was
true.
fun. But we
It
also
was fun.
Exactly. That's just us playing the game. But again, I don't think that really popped off and did very much.
I don't think that it did.
Yeah, and it's like we don't want to spend time on YouTube if it's not going to actually advance the channel. Like we want to make really good stuff, and it's the trade-off of the time. Because it's like these videos take a lot of work and a lot of time to do, and that's time that we can be
Spent doing other
writing,
things that more people will get value from.
Right, exactly. So, and the thing is, now we play pretty much every week on the weekend with varying groups.
Yeah, it was a little bit more
games, so
more different last or 2 summers ago because we were still
kind of isolated.
on either sides of the country.
We didn't have groups that we were role playing with regularly. So that was a way for us to actually role play.
Right. And it was fun.
Yeah. So hyped for the book. I hope you're talking about The Shucked Oyster and or Cults of Zahak. Let's be honest, most people aren't that interesting, myself included. A lot of people are not interesting. You are right.
That is true.
Yeah.
But
you're
if you're here in this
Yeah.
chat, there's a high probability you're interesting.
Yeah. Can't wait to get my copy.
Hell yeah, man. We can't wait for you to get it.
But the Kenning? I don't know what that is. Hey,
don't know.
shucking time. Yep. Still better than all those Kickstarters which don't have a close to finished product before selling it. Yeah.
Yep.
We didn't want to do that.
Yep.
The actual play was excellent. Thank you,
thank you.
Spencer. Spencer is in the locals and playing in our Mythras game
Yes, he is.
every other week. And it's really cool, too, because I think there are a couple of live plays of Mythras that, again, it's just a couple of guys playing on a VTT or whatever. This is high octane. We probably made some mistakes with the rules here and there, but we did a pretty good job of explaining exactly how the mechanics were working in the moment. And I think it's going to give people a taste for why Mythras is fucking awesome.
Yep.
Your actual play going to be a live watch along or just dropping the whole video at once? That's a good question. We could do that as a premiere.
We've done a premiere a couple of times, and I don't think it's
We stopped
been
because
helpful.
every once in a while we drop a video.
Kenning is letter spacing
Oh.
year so book.
Aren't you talking about kerning? I think it's kerning. Anyway, maybe kenning. But
Joe Biden is awake.
the reason I think we stopped doing the premieres is because we dropped a premiere on a live stream 2 weeks in a row. And nobody showed up to the live stream.
Yeah, we did it
on Thursday.
Consecutive
because
Thursdays
I think
or
people were
something.
like, "Oh, this is the live stream today,"
Right,
because we're in the
right.
chat and everything like that.
Well, you let
we
us
could-
know. Should we do a premiere
Yeah.
or not?
Give us a thumbs up emoji if you think it should be a premiere, a live watch. And if so, we'll be in the chat. That's funny. Classes as archetypes is very powered by the apocalypse.
So, yes, I mean, they don't use classes per se. Archetypes are not in and of themselves good or bad. Powered by the
We've
apocalypse.
been asked to make videos of playing our game. I won't shamelessly plug it, but it bores us. I'd rather show them in person. Interested in your take? BTW Shucked Oyster Rock.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
President,
man.
for saying that. Finally, waking up. For $9.99, Andrew Thomas, thank you so much. We've been asked to make videos of playing our game. I won't shamelessly plug it, but it bores us. I'd rather show them in person. Interested in your take. By the way, Shucked Oyster rocks. So is this a new game that you have made?
Yeah.
Because if it is a new game with its own system, yes, I think you absolutely should do that. And you should explain how the mechanics work. Let people actually get a taste of that online, because that can make it go much, much, much farther. And that's also something that's, if someone's like, well, can you show me how this works?
Yeah.
Send them the link. There's definitely value in that.
But counterpoint, if you're specifying that this is something that
Till
bores,
Shadowrun is, yeah.
if this is something that bores all of you, like it's something that's going to be work to do, unless you're trying to like really drive the channel and don't have the time. If it's something that is going to drain you and you guys don't want to do,
then don't do it.
don't do it. Because that energy also will be palpable.
Shadowrun is powered by the apocalypse. Maybe because
Is
there's
it?
an apocalypse in Shadowrun.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh shit, that's powerful.
I'm not sure. Let's see here. Powered by the Apocalypse is meta. It isn't wrong about its analysis of RPGs, just that those meta analyses make for good play.
I disagree. I think Powered by the Apocalypse, it's a competent attempt to act out an actual narrative with a special attention to drama, pacing, sort of rising action, falling action. I just do not believe that those kind of considerations, I think those considerations erode actual role play, because what happens in role play is I'm playing a character who does not know the future and does not know or think of himself as a protagonist in a story. So
Yeah.
I'm going to naturally do things which would be jarring from a narrative
Right.
standpoint. It might be that I don't have the heroic arc, or someone dies in an undramatic fashion or an accidental fashion.
Or even that you just have like scene editing capabilities as like
Right.
a mechanic.
Right.
The only thing that I've read that is like related to Powered by the Apocalypse is, of course, Candela Obscura, which is, even from what I've heard, is a very bad version of like the
yeah.
Blades in the Dark, Powered by the Apocalypse sort of stuff. I do have Blades in the Dark now. I inherited that from Grognard right here, who just said, mentioned on the locals that we actually do play like that. So yes, Spencer, we like we said, we were playing. Oh wait, we got another super chat. Biden, come, dude.
The existence
There we
of
go.
powered by the cringe offends me.
Thank you, Bear McCheese. Yes,
gonna-
but the difference is, if we were to record us all playing our Mythras game, we would and watch
It's
it
good
back.
with you guys' personalities live prom.
It's good with you guys, with your guys' personalities.
live premiere.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Thank
a
you.
vote for
A
live,
vote for live
premiere.
premiere.
Yeah. Like
But-
there would be a
but
lot of
there'd be
pauses
there'd be a lot of
and-
pauses. There'd be a lot of this stuff that's like there's a lot more description that helps you in the moment. That's not going to be very watchable for an audience.
Yeah,
So
it would-
yes, in principle, we were doing the same thing.
Correct,
It was just
correct.
being like way, way, way more economical about everything.
Right. And those kinds of concerns are not present when we're
Right.
there at the table, because we can and we want to not only chew on the scenes, but just
Get the
revel
most-
in the drama of what
and
is
get in-
happening.
It's there was I can't remember not Kubrick, god damn it, the guy Hitchcock. There was some story of someone who met Hitchcock who was going to make a film with them, and you know, he meets him for the first time and he says, "Do you know what we're going to do?" He says, "We're going to make a movie." He says, "No, we're going to take the grapes of life and we're going to squeeze them down over our face and drink all of their juices." That's what I like doing in a role-playing
Yeah.
game. That's what I get the value out of.
Who
you
said
know.
that?
Hitchcock.
Oh, nice. All right.
That was not Hitchcock's voice, by the way. Whatever I did not, I'm sure, did not sound like him.
Yeah.
But that kind of stuff doesn't work in a YouTube video.
Right.
And here's the thing: it feels really fast when you're doing it. You know,
Yeah.
but then when you have to edit the video, it's not fast. It's so
It
not
felt
fast.
That
It felt excruciating. Like
to
watch
do
it.
it.
To watch it.
It
Yeah.
was bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad
It
in
wasn't
the moment.
bad role, and it wasn't bad role play. No, it
That's
was
the
just
thing.
like, this is boring as shit.
It just drove home the point that these are two different
They're-
mediums.
Exactly, two different mediums. It's not a thing for the audience, you know.
And that footage that was like an hour and 20 minutes, it felt to me that it was like 45 or like 40
When in the moment,
in the moment.
yeah.
Yeah, when it was all said and done and we saw how long it was, like, geez, really?
But and then when we cut it down though, it was like watching these sequences. It was just like, oh my god, like this is taking forever. You know.
Yeah, it was taking forever to edit and the stuff.
But it was taking forever to watch it back because there was so much going. Like there was just so
Right.
much, and it was cool. And I kind of want to keep going off of one of those scenarios, but we'll see. Make 2025 the year of no bullshit gaming. That's
I'm down
every
for
year,
that.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, that's every year.
I like to multi-class my spellcasters because a wizard that can change the fates of an entire war but not wear armor strong enough to block most arrows feels really off. It's very stupid.
I agree. So, again, the reason that is, someone made this point. I don't remember who.
The Critical Role toy line was canceled. That's right. They had like miniatures were canceled or something
Oh, okay.
because they weren't selling. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No,
interrupt
but
you.
having a wizard that can't use armor, that can be cool and interesting if there is a reason for that.
Right.
And someone had made the point recently, and I agree with them, that D&D now, well, even D&D before 5th edition,
Right.
was its own genre. And the archetypes that were being put forth were amalgamations of
The boy has been watching others play a game, but I'm in for watching you guys do it live. Maybe we can learn how to do what we're hesitant about.
Yeah, hopefully.
okay,
Let's do it,
guys,
man.
do it live. So
Yeah.
is that another vote for
I think
live
so.
premiere?
Yeah.
Okay, we have two. I haven't heard anybody or seen anybody say no to that. So
Yeah.
we have two live premieres and a bunch of abstentions.
Right.
So
We're way behind in the chat, so.
yeah.
Accidentally backed like 9 things this past 25 days and now I'm broke. I know everybody, it was like
Yeah.
a rush to get Kickstarters out before December.
Yeah, I thought I was done with Kickstarters. There's a YouTube channel like Modern History something. I don't know. This British guy who works for a video game company but also trains jousting and owns war horses.
Nice.
He's funding a novel whose title I don't remember. All right, well, I like your channel, so I'm gonna see if you can write a good, authentic medieval story.
Elson Dantas says, awaiting the Sabat video. All the VTM videos are awesome. The Sabat
you, man.
video will be out before the end of the year.
Yep.
That is our next our next one that we are like we're thinking about it right now. It's cooking it, but it's coming before the end of the year. Better with Bacon. Hey bros, how's it going?
What's happening, man?
Been reading the One Ring Tales from the Lone Lands. They really get the tone and feel of Middle Earth. I've never heard of
Cool.
that. Check out the Game Masters pack for Mythras. Yes, it has good modules for learning the game, but also go to the Mythras Discord, which I'm not sure might be linked in this. If it's not, you can find it online. They have like resources for GMs and everything like that. A big shitload of downloads. There's a really good Mythras character creator that helped us make these new characters for the live play in 5 minutes a piece. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of really good tools for Mythras out there. I really want to play Mythic Rome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So usually I would say yes, but since we're playing Axe, which is Mythic Rome in a sense, Mythic Rome, I have less desire to run that one now. I thought Mythras was Bronze Age Greece. The kind of assumed setting, yes. But
It's
it goes
just Bronze
it's like
Age, generally
bronze up to
speaking.
like Iron Age, basically. Yeah. Watching the Ring of Fire play was cool just
Nice.
because of how awesome Quack's, that's the maker, right? Performance was. I don't no, so that's not Buttquack. Buttquack is a fellow traveler who's played a lot of Within the Ring of Fire, but Andrew Wood was the creator of that, and he's a lot of fun. He is good to have on an actual play because he is very entertaining, and he's always running things high octane, going balls to the wall. And it's not a character. That is how he is in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Our table has run fantastic Powered by the Apocalypse games, and the meta-analysis helped to make them amazing. The only issue we found is that the game doesn't work so well for long campaigns.
Yeah.
That's what he always says. He says it's too narrow of a focus on most of these, in most of the settings. I don't have a problem with actual plays, but the personalities feel too forced and squeaky clean, like Critical Role and D20. 3D6 down the line isn't a bad watch, though. I have not heard of 3D6 down the line.
I haven't heard of it. But I do agree. YouTube voice is irritating in a 10-minute... Irritating enough in a 10-minute video.
Yeah. I hate YouTube voice.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm making another video, and we're going to talk about this today. But, it's like, shut up. Oiled Gladiators, yeah. I like how OD&D has only 3 classes when you don't include the Greyhawk supplement. It makes the playstyle feel much broader in a way. I think a monster / quest of the week show with the same characters would do better than what Critical Role does. Maybe, but if it's just a new scenario each time, I think people might get a little bored of that, but I don't know. We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
We do want to continue with this, and we want to continue with these characters.
It's also harder to say, what would do better than Critical Role. Because
that's a good guy.
Critical Role is at such a scale that the type of people who are their core audience, or at least a major portion of their audience,
they're not going to watch our stuff anyway.
Yeah, it's just a different thing. You're operating at a higher level of scale. And to do that, you really have to, I think, seriously alter a lot of gaming assumptions.
Right, and this is true. Watching the 4D guys roleplay is definitely more engaging than the general trend of watching people sit down and prepare to roll dice.
That is true. 100%.
That is true.
And I had a lot of fun playing as a mafioso, whose name I don't remember, but I remember what I did. I remember ripping all of the innards out of a yacht, I believe, looking for money.
The core rulebook uses Bronze Age Greece as an example setting, but Mythras lends itself to any mythical setting. Correct. Really, you can run genres outside of fantasy if you wanted to. Correct. In Mythras Imperative, the free version on DriveThruRPG, that's orc licensed as well, which we're using for Cults of Zahak. That has like firearms rules. It has rules for vehicles.
Yeah. Siege weaponry. Like, it's got everything. Like,
it's not... Mythras, the book, is, yes, focused on like more of a Bronze Age thing, but the Mythras rule set is not like so finely tuned to that kind of a setting that it can't do other things. There's sci-fi versions, like M-Space, I really want to get. I've heard it's very, very good. You can do a lot with the Mythras system. The truth is there's no way to make a video of a Dark Sun style D&D game because the people who like to watch this are all woke or snowflakes.
I'm not convinced that that's true. I think there are people who would be interested in good content and an actually tight, good presentation of the Dark Sun world and Dark Sun characters. Because I think the people who actually like Dark Sun are I would imagine they'd typically not be woke. I would not let... Again, it's like Matt was saying just a second ago. Like, a lot of the Critical Role audience are not going to be a lot of the... There's not a lot of overlap with the people here. So
Black
they're
Arch
not really a
Games,
threat.
I do not agree with your position, but I am looking forward to your observations and arguments. You don't agree with us? Get out! No, I'm just kidding.
Is this on...
I'm
with
assuming
Powered by the Apocalypse, or...
That, or probably even the topic of the video, of the stream.
Or classes?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Live actual plays.
Okay.
Critical Role has audience buy-in, even though I think they suck mostly.
I mean, they have brand recognition at this point.
Yeah. But again, they had to build that brand.
They did have to build it. Yes, it's not...
They started from zero as well.
Critical Role is an industry plant. Yeah.
No, but they started on Geek and Sundry, which already had a built-in audience. But they
achieved a level of success such that they now have brand recognition, which
Yes.
boosts them further.
Right. And they're not like an industry plant. Like they did
No,
have to
like
do the work.
what
they had
industry?
to make, yeah, they had to make, exactly. They had to make content that people wanted to watch.
Right.
I actually enjoy watching actual play, Critical Role, Dimension 20, and Adventress, which I
know
think
what that
is,
is.
yes, you do. That's with Chuckles the Clown or whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't know what that was.
But I also see it as radio
Garmin
plays.
Bosia the Clown, you mean?
Garmin Bosia the Clown, yeah. But I also see it as radio plays and just listen for the fun in between and not necessarily for the gameplay. Yeah, that's fine. That's the thing. Like, but that's what they're doing. I think the Legends of Adventurous guys actually are playing. They're just playing a very goofy game that I would want to kill myself in if I was playing at the table. But they seem to actually maybe be playing a game. And they're just riffing and having fun. The Critical Role people are doing entertainment. That is it. They are not playing D&D. And if you want to watch it as an entertainment product, that totally makes sense. But it's when people think that this is a game. This is what D&D is, and this is what it's like to be at a table role playing. It's really not. That's the thing. Critical Role got held hostage by their own audience. Thought support Hamas or else such bullshit. Oh man. Gonna have to dip early. Have a good night, Elf
No
Hunter.
worries. Take it easy, man.
Then we had to see Matt in a shawl. Oh yeah, that was so pathetic. Matt
What is
Mercer
this?
when he was in the shawl, and he's like, "I'm depressed," and
Oh,
goes on, and
God,
then
dude.
starts talking about Palestine or something like that, and like, I was like, I tweeted
Imagine
him.
being this guy.
I think I retweeted him and I said, delete your account. Yeah.
Imagine how much
If any
happier
of you try to hold us hostage like that, that's not going to happen.
Oh, God.
Length is probably a huge issue and definitely matters. That's a dick joke that I made. Length matters. Yeah, size matters. I do think radio plays and audio dramas would work better than actual plays. Maybe the difference with I think people don't want to listen to something. They want to see the people.
The thing is, and this was a conversation we were having after one of our 4 attempts of doing this, because this is something that Shauner has said before, that a game where everybody is role-playing and staying in character should be like a radio play.
Yep.
And I'm not going to sacrilegiously say that Shauner is wrong in that, because I would never say that Shauner is wrong about
because
anything.
he is undefeated.
He's undefeated, and I will have to face him when I die.
Yeah.
But because these games have mechanics at the very least, and there is a switch from in-character to mechanical interface, and like we were trying really hard to keep things as tight as possible, it never, and just because of the nature of improvisation that has to take place when you're role-playing, it's not precisely going to flow like a radio drama. I think
Correct.
to really get that, you really do have to script it.
Yes.
And you could mitigate that. You can make the gap smaller to a certain degree, but because of the nature of the game and because of the nature of role play itself, they're not really going to meet ever.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good way to put. I just also sort of thought about this. It's like what we tried to do basically was play like Morrowind. You got off the boat, there's this giant open world, what do you do?
Right.
You know.
Play more like actual game.
Someone
Someone
already
made
beat
that
you to
joke.
that. Yeah, someone beat you to it, Matthew Pickard. Thank you for the $2. So good to see you. But it's like we basically were like, okay, we're gonna play Morrowind.
Why was that a different
Skies-
voice, by the way?
Because his Canada bucks don't reach the minimum to actually trigger Biden, which I would get rid of that minimum if I could, but
We
we can't.
Yeah.
That's the built-in thing.
I'm
with
sorry, I
with the
interrupted
thing.
you. Morrowind.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna play Morrowind. It's like the
Yeah.
sky's the limit. We can do anything, you know. We're really what we needed to do, and this is what it came down to. We needed to play Hotline Miami. Like it was like, no, you enter the door, it starts, boom,
Right.
it goes different every time. You know, like that's what we needed to do.
Which we did.
Which we did. Best actual play is 3D6 down the line, hands down.
Interesting.
We're gonna have to look
them
this
out.
up.
Yeah.
I have not heard of these. Old style radio broadcast live plays. Yeah, the difference is I think it's better when you can actually see the people, even if it is a sort of a radio play or whatever. I get why people want to watch Critical Role and that sort of a thing, is that they have these charismatic actor people who are funny. In some cases, they're good looking. In some cases, they're not. I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to name names. And it's fun to watch them do that. It's like watching a TV show, or it's like watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? You know, I don't want to listen to Whose
Line Is It Anyway?
I would watch it, you know.
Yeah.
Even though it's on this tiny little set, you know, that sort of thing. I do get that. But that just can't be confused with what it's like to play a game.
Yeah.
Highlights only is probably more realistic, but nuances go bye-bye. Yeah, I mean,
It's not even the
not nuance.
goes away. It's, again, the scope has to be
it's
very
you're
tight
taking
and
it on
structured.
a fucking microscope. You know, that's what you have to do.
So it might be that second and third order, or just chronologically later consequences can't be covered in that session, in that scene. You can gloss over them if you want. You can leave them to narration, to another session or episode, or you can pick up with a new scene where there's with those consequences immediately lead to. One of those you can choose, but you can't follow the consequences outside of like the boundaries. There really does have to be a kind of zone wall.
Right. I did like the BLG Blood and Sunshine actual play. I use Nick's way of shifting scenes when the party is split in my games. We drift over to the city and come down to the waterfront districts where,
Nice. I don't even remember what I did.
It was just like the scene shifting. I think we did split the party at one point.
I know everybody
when we were at
was
Susie
in different
Shimmer's.
places.
Yeah.
Initially.
But just the way you narrate and whatnot.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. I do miss that
That was
game.
a ton of fun.
Yeah, that was
I
a
miss
ton
it
of
as
fun.
well.
How much of this issue is caused by the grind of the system? It was
Some of it, but not.
I don't think it was any of that, because the system, like when we're recording,
Oh yeah. For
our actual play stuff,
making this watchable.
It was not the system that was getting in the way. It was us.
Yeah.
I was involved in the YouTube actual play on role corruption. It's a significant undertaking, and we had good days and bad.
Interesting.
Huh.
Role corruption.
I have not heard of that either. I'm gonna have to look into both.
Very
of these.
cool. Yeah, it is a significant undertaking. Even though we had a fairly simple setup. I mean, it was just wires plugged into every fucking port in the computer. But we used Foundry to make it make sense. Yeah, we did full theater of the mind. We were not doing
there's
minis
no
or anything.
battle mat or
We considered
VTT.
it. We talked about it. We're like, yeah, we have like these flat pack minis that we got from Spencer, and like maybe we'll use those. And it's like that would have fucked it up
Hey,
so
and
much.
after this experience, I don't want to add any.
wanna add
Small
any
amounts
more
make
complexity.
Joe leave and print more money.
Small amounts make Joe leave and print more money. Thank you for the $2, Mayor McCheese. Yeah, I don't want to add any more complexity to this at all.
Right.
Come on. Oh, we got another one.
Oh.
Let me scroll.
It was like the diversion of a corporate motivational seminar.
Critical Role is like the D&D version of a corporate motivational seminar. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
The HR department made the live play.
God. Many such cases.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yes, making an actual play for entertainment obliges you to an audience. Either be entertaining to the audience and fake the playing, or make an actual play.
I don't think that distinction is an accurate one.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part you are correct. But like we did yesterday, we brought it into down under a microscope. We're doing the Hotline Miami, kick in the door, get to it. But you'll see, we rolled everything live. We even have a camera on the dice, so you can see that we're not cheating. And we talked through the mechanics as we're doing it, and we were in the moment. And
Yeah.
you can do it. It's just very, very it's a different sort of a thing.
Yeah. And it's not when we say we want this to be enjoyable and interesting to an outside viewer, this isn't really an audience capture problem. This is the first one we're doing. We don't even have an audience but we were looking at
with actual plays, unless it's scripted like Korean Night by Night, it's really boring to watch a bunch of dorks decide what action to take.
Yeah. That's a big problem.
That is a problem.
That's
not
a problem
knowing
with a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of these people just are not good role players
Right.
at all, and so that
everybody
problem
has
is
their fucking
exacerbated.
cameras turned off, and you're just staring at a recording of a Discord
Yeah.
call. Like, fuck you.
It's awful.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah. But determining whether or not something is watchable, it's like, I want to write a good book, right? I have read good books and bad books. And if I start writing something and I know, geez, this is not looking good. This is not a good book. I hope that it was, but I got to go back to the drawing board. That's not, oh, geez, this is a passable story about a subject I don't care about, but my audience would like me to continue writing in this world. It's not quite the same thing.
Yeah.
It's, does this fit the medium? And in doing this, we really recognized a lot more of the true distinctions in these two mediums of at the table role play and actual play.
Let me see here. Critical Role teams are voice actors. They work best with scripts. That would help.
Yeah.
We're flirting with doing heavily edited play videos of Blund of Tale of the Manticore and Krug's Dwarf Fortress videos with illustrations.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, heavily edited is a good idea. And if you can add visuals to it, that's awesome.
Yeah, if you can add visuals to the insane things that you're getting up to in Dwarf Fortress, that would be very funny.
Yeah. All right, scroll back up here, see what we got. It's definitely scripted with ad-libbing. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's probably more
like heavily
outlined.
prompted.
Yeah, it's outlined and prompted rather than scripted.
Overtly scripted. I don't think they're saying lines
they're not doing
per se.
lines. They're definitely having conversations. They make jokes. They do all sorts of stuff. But it is. I think Poncho Goblin knows someone who used to be a writer for Critical Role.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
they have writers. Yeah, they're just not. They're not writing scripts. Yeah. The show is definitely for the audience. Yes. Ironically, Critical Role's attempts to make them not look scripted make the show unwatchable for me. Too much meandering. Yeah. Mercurius is out of here. Good night, man.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah, you have to edit, but even with editing, it's not always enough.
Yeah.
I like actual plays best when they're comedic, but the people involved must be real comedians and not just nerds making cringe meme jokes. Yes,
that is true. Nerds are unwatchable, unlikable, and abominable.
Yeah.
No matter where you encounter them.
Agreed. We decided to put our games out not for the entertainment value, but to show how we do it. We talk theory and we wanted to show how we apply it.
Ever seen the AA guys' videos? It's all scripted, but it can be entertaining.
Trump and Biden play D&D or Elon.
Yeah. Those are great. We will get. Oh God, we got more super chats coming in.
Lines if they watch it.
Their fans must be doing lines if they watch it.
Problem actual play, boring solution, hardcore nudity.
Problem actual play, boring solution, hardcore nudity. Oh God, guys. All right, but to get back to what Mr. Max has said here. This is a good reason to do an actual play. And the other thing is, you guys are you live in different places and you want to play together. And so you're going to be online anyway doing it. So streaming that way, there's nothing. It's not even that there's nothing wrong with it. It's like, it makes sense to do that.
Right.
And
it's the only way it could happen.
Yeah. And it is good to, it's kind of like you're saying, put your money where your mouth is, if you're going to talk role-playing theory and say how much better you are than everyone else. You guys don't always necessarily say that, but we say that. It's like you gotta show people. You can't just make that claim and just always do it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not trying to do it as a piece of entertainment for other people, even though it is entertaining. It's the best when they can legitimately crack each other up. Yeah. Recording regular sessions can be fine as a piece of educational content for players, but it's not particularly entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not only that it's not entertaining. I mean, going back to Mr. Max's point, let's say there are actual plays out there where a lot of the mechanics and aspects of the world are there on display. But because of the nature of just trying to watch a 3, 4, 6 hour session online on YouTube, people around a digital table or around an actual table, it's just it's also very difficult to transmit like the theory or to transmit the practice, because the practice, it's like, what would be a good metaphor? Like, it's, if I want to teach you how to swim and you've never been to the ocean before or been to a pool,
But I have
and
been to the ocean.
Oh yeah, that's that takes my
Yeah, your metaphor makes no sense.
metaphor makes no sense
Yeah.
because it's theoretically possible to have not happened.
Right.
But
no,
like, if
I did go to the ocean though.
If I'm teaching you in a classroom how to swim, I can be saying, I can be the best swim teacher, swim professor. The medium of like a classroom or a seminar is not really going to do the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just wasn't witty enough to follow on your.
Right.
I didn't have breakfast. I did go to this.
I had to. So you're saying you did watch the Jeremy Crawford Baldur's Gate 3 play? I did not.
I did not.
Well, he's not talking to us. So.
Oh.
Mr. Max, also you should join us on an ultimate no prep challenge. Okay.
Okay. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
it sounds cool. I imagine it involves no prep.
Azimuth Runehammer from I think it's Crown and Skull will not do an actual play. He does not want to pimp out his friends, but he does a recap video of an ongoing campaign. That I think is fine. Like you can do a recap video, and that can be.
Trump, she screwed me out of another term. I'm a better candidate. Even with dementia, how is that even possible? Sorry, just had to do that. LOL.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
And thank you,
Thank
Andrew
you for
Thomas,
being
for the
a good sport on the election.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, that's
So that's a different
compelling.
yeah,
Because you are telling a story after the fact.
Exactly. I'm telling you a story of what we played. That is good. And I also understand, like, your friends might not want to be on your YouTube channel. I totally get that. Someone asked me, Crafty asked me recently what I thought of Crown and Skull, or Skull and Crown, whatever it is. I haven't read it. It looks like a very beautiful book, though.
Yeah, the book looks gorgeous, but it looks like not my kind of game from what I've seen. And
I don't know anything about it, is the thing.
I think there's a lot of powers and things.
Oh. I don't know. I would like to check it out, though. It's a beautiful looking book. I have tried watching Runehammer's videos. I can never get through them, though.
I'm going, so for Thanksgiving, I'm going back to Philadelphia. I'm going.
Oh, go to his shop.
I'm going to go to his store.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. But he's got a lot of. Shut up, Google. He's in that book. He has a lot of art by Luke Eidenshank, who I followed on Twitter, who's amazing. So he at least definitely has good taste in art. I think live play can provide useful examples for new players. Got to provide examples other than Critical Role to break the dreaded Mercer effect. That's fine too. If you have like this is how it's gonna work. You can watch them play but I don't imagine someone's gonna watch 4 hours, of a session. If it's like this is how you play Shadow Dark, whatever. And I'm not gonna watch a 4-hour Shadow Dark session. I would get it within the first 5 minutes of how this works. The GM describes things. We all take our turns and say things.
Yeah. To explain how the game works, it's not necessary to have a full session or a full campaign of however many sessions up on YouTube.
Right.
Like, you have to watch them all.
I feel like every single actual play is a comedy, and none are ever that funny and just get annoying. Yeah.
Well, that's just a problem with a lot of people at the table.
Right.
A lot of people think they're way funnier than they actually are.
Yeah. Crawford's game was so awful.
This must have been a clip that Diversity and Dragons put up. Since some would say Crawford and Double D, maybe Diversity and Dragons played a clip.
Crawford I'm thinking.
Kevin-
No, I was thinking Perkins. I was thinking Chris Perkins.
Well, Kevin Crawford, isn't he also a game designer?
He's a game designer. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did the like Worlds Without
Worlds
Number.
Without
and everything
Number.
like that. I don't know what they're talking about. All right. Yeah, Max, you guys
Until
do
they
good.
invent a camera that can see your imagination, there is an insurmountable barrier to role playing in a spectator sport.
A little bit. I don't know. I mean, people.
Again, what you're doing at the table, role playing at the table in
You're
your
not gonna get
actual
the same
game, it's
experience
not going to be the
watching
same
it.
thing.
Yeah,
you
for
have
sure.
to.
You have to be in it for sure.
Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced of this like medium and genre limitations metaphor I used earlier. I think, you know, even within movies, if I want to make a good drama movie, the considerations I would need and the effort and focus I would put, if I was making a comedy, are not compatible in many cases.
I respect Runehammer. He knows his stuff.
Okay.
He might. I don't know. Like I said, I've tried to watch his videos. I do remember, like maybe a year or two ago, someone brought up Runehammer to us, and I didn't know who he was, and I think you might not have even remembered. But
I find his videos very difficult to watch.
But somebody was like, "You guys can't continue to just ignore that Runehammer exists." And blah blah. Blah. I was like, "I don't know who
I don't
he
know
is."
what you're talking about.
More like a gay designer.
Got him.
Ah, there you go. Got him, man. $2.
Oh God.
Diversity and Dragons react to the Crawford game. Okay.
So this has to be a live play on his or someone else's
Yeah.
YouTube channel that Double D was watching.
122 watching, but 50 something likes. I'm docking all of you XP. Thank you,
Yep.
Jack McCarthy.
Thank you for being our taskmaster.
Mentioned to D&D that British actors are kind of dumb. All right. Lol, the floating emoticon on the screen. BLG has the autism mode turned on. Yeah, I don't know how to turn it off.
What is this?
It's the thing where like the balloons happen or whatever.
It's just a mystery. Some ghost in the machine.
I don't I don't know how to turn it off. I committed suicide last night, but got resurrection success after the Crawford debacle. Runehammer seems cool. ICRPG. Index Card RPG is probably the single best RPG book in my collection. I don't have it.
Interesting. I don't have it.
The videos got me in the hobby was actual play, but it was heavily edited and played like a TV show. I don't like the crosstalk and joke telling. Yeah, many such cases.
Yeah, I definitely don't like that. I don't like that at the table any more than I like it watching an actual play. I want us as much as we can to stay in the world, stay in the zone.
Yeah. The only actual play I have enjoyed is Me, Myself, and Die. However, that is an edited solo performance. Correct.
Yeah.
And he's very clear that he's doing a show. Like, he's playing the game.
Yeah.
He's doing everything on the fly. It's all improvised.
Yeah.
But he is doing a show.
Yeah. Which is a lot easier to do. If you're just doing a solo game, it's easy to beat the accusations that you're not actually role playing.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah.
Well played.
Have either of you ever looked into Japanese TTRPG market? They're big into Let's Plays in text format in the core rulebooks as well as standalone products. I have not.
I have not.
The only thing that I know is that they play a lot of Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, which is very cool.
Yeah. I replied the link to the Jeremy Crawford thing in the X message advertising this live stream. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We
will
need to get
check
to
it
work
out.
early. All right. Have a good night, man.
Take it easy, man.
Go to the locals. Midwit Friend. Yeah. Midwit and Friend are 2 promo codes you can use to get a month free. They have good memes there. They do. Most of them made by Jack McCarthy. But you also get to look at stuff early. And we will have some
Right.
Cults of Zahak stuff for you guys, not just the
Yeah.
art and stuff like that, but the writing on the locals will be up probably in a couple of weeks. But
Yep.
it
Yep.
just kind of depends on when we think something's in a
Yeah.
good enough state to show
And
to
we
people.
did just have another art piece.
Yeah, but that's on Twitter. That's everywhere. That's
Yeah.
in the actual play video tomorrow.
That's
at the very
true.
beginning. Yeah, we got another golem in from Dane Seipel.
But it went up first to the locals, I think.
I think it went out simultaneously.
Oh,
that
maybe.
one. Yeah. I should have put it on the locals first, but I was like, blast this out, put it on the Kickstarter
was
update, put
too
it on Twitter,
cool.
put it. Yeah, I was like, fuck yeah. And if you're just tuning in, do remember that we do have a Kickstarter going on right now for Cults of Zahak, our Mythras D100 product. It is fucking rad. And reusing that as the setting for the actual play that goes up tomorrow.
That's right.
Did the people in the locals already see that live stream?
Yes.
They have seen the, well, I mean, if they have chosen to watch it, they have
Right.
seen the actual play that drops tomorrow on the premiere. An aid worker loading water, it's different without the veil, and a director guiding them. These are theater actors and soap extras. They don't necessarily have the time to play. Like the Lazelle actor has played before, but she's kind of like the old boomer mother in the entire thing, playing games with her kids almost. Okay.
I guess the voice
They must have had
actress
the-
was
yeah.
on. That makes sense. They probably
Yeah.
would have had her on for like a Baldur's Gate 3.
Right.
She played Lazelle.
Yeah.
You know,
She is a good looking lady. The Lazelle actor.
I haven't seen her.
She's a good looking lady.
Oh,
Yeah. As is the one who plays Shadowheart.
nice.
I like seeing stories from people's games and funny clips, but watching live play is something I've never liked. Yeah. If it gets clicks, it sticks. Well, that's not how we do it, because we could absolutely
We could make slop tomorrow.
dominate if
Yeah.
we just made slop. If all we did was make D&D slop, Black Lodge Games would be a much bigger channel.
Role corruption is on Hattis, but we ran into a few of these issues. We had a bit of tongue in cheek, but it was herb. I felt we struck a balance.
All right, sorry, had a little private conversation there for a second.
Let's check that super chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Role corruption is on hiatus, but we
Okay.
ran into a few of these issues. We had a bit of tongue in cheek, but it was a role play. I
Okay.
feel like we struck a balance. Okay.
All right. Well, if there's a break, that
Role
means I can catch
corruption.
up. If it's
Yeah. Shadowheart voice actor is a lesbian, so good luck with that. Yeah. Oh man, I just missed my chance with the actress that I've never met and never will. Darn. You know? It's not how,
it's so over for me.
so over. Yeah, I'm gonna kill myself. I wonder if our stream's gonna get flagged. I've said that like 3 times. Cyberpunk didn't pop off because that old rocker dude sucked. What's up, boys? Steve Fillmore,
Oh,
you
what are you
are
saying?
that old rocker dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember how that scene
Yeah.
went. I remember how successful that performance role was. The entire crowd
Yeah.
was loving it. The only
Yeah.
people who were not having a good time was you. After,
Yeah.
after you saw your
My fucking
girlfriend
on
cheating
stage.
with your work
colleague.
your work colleague
Yeah.
/ rival / guy who wanted to kill you and you wanted to kill him.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
That was so much fun. Especially the next episode where they're in the doing the recording session.
Yeah.
I don't remember what her name was. It was like Sable or something. And it was
Sable.
like, why don't you do that again? Great job, everyone else. It was so much fun.
Bitch.
You bitch. I love Cyberpunk. I want to play that again.
Yeah. I feel like I could pitch that.
I think
to
that
the
would be
actual group.
that would be a great fit for our group.
Yeah.
Because they could go absolutely
Bonkers.
wild.
And
Yeah.
they'll get blown up.
Yeah.
Like you did.
Yeah. Which was fun.
But then their humanity will drop precipitously.
Yeah. Oh,
She's not a lesbian, she's a Larabian.
a lesbian, as in a lazelle.
Shirtless stream, especially the ginger, please tie.
Shirtless stream, especially the ginger, please. Thank you.
Please and
Marshall. I know who Marshall is. That is literally his name is Marshall Beaupre. One of the funniest people I have ever met. Good friend. And I'm glad you tuned in, man. But we're not going to do a shirtless stream. What joke train have I started? Yeah, I don't know. But here's the thing, guys. It's also possible, even if the Lazelle voice actor is indeed a lesbian, she's still good looking. Just because she's a lesbian doesn't mean that she's not good looking. That it doesn't invalidate what I said.
True.
I personally think the regular videos are the most helpful content to me. Timinator? He's responding to someone named Timinator. You don't see this.
Not sure.
I don't know. Oh, no. Timothy DeBoer, Timinator 2. That is his name.
Well, we're not going to stop
We're not
making
gonna stop
regular
making
videos.
those, yeah, that's kerning. Oh, damn. We're way back.
Damn, we're so far behind.
So far behind. Good to catch you live for a bit. We mentioned Horde Wars earlier.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man.
It's happening, man.
Challenging to not be boring. Even Critical Role suffered once they stopped doing live play. Live play is the only way. The moment you edit it, it feels doctored because it is doctored. That's true. I was thinking about this earlier while we were talking about this on the stream, that doing it live is sort of a different thing. But watching back a recording, it's hard because if you have the option to skip ahead, like you're just going to do that.
Right.
I prefer videos on mechanics cut into small chunks over an actual play, to be honest. From my experience, something like Critical Role is successful because it's paid actors performing. Anything less than that, you've got to have a rare group to ascend past beer and pretzels lulls. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Marshall, you want action? Show an Andrew Jackson.
That's right. As someone who is uninitiated with TTRPGs, how do Critical Role and others alter D&D to make it entertaining to watch? How does that differ from actual play?
What was it?
Basically, how he's new to RPGs. How does Critical Role and others alter D&D to make it entertaining to watch? Basically, they don't really play the game. They do a kind of improvisational theater thing. There's lots of banter. There's lots of character interaction.
Right, and because they are all the players and the GM are all professional voice actors, they're very
with
good
writers.
With writers, they're very good at doing voices, obviously, and improvising
and putting on a performance that is entertaining for people.
Right.
They are, however, not sitting down and like Matt Mercer's like, okay, we're gonna run the Caves of Chaos tonight, and everyone goes in blind. It's just not the same thing. It's they are doing a piece of entertainment with the trappings of playing a game.
Yeah.
They're not really playing
and
the
there
game.
are die rolls still. They're interfacing with the mechanics.
And it's and I know like characters have died in fights and things like that unexpectedly sometimes, and it looks unexpected because I think you could tell they didn't want the character to die and it was unexpected, and then the fans freaked out and revolted. But it's not a, and again, it's not scripted, but it has to at least be outlined for them.
Yeah.
They
Again,
know,
it-
they know
there's
sort
this-
of where it's going before it starts.
There is a similarity to wrestling. I forget if someone else
Yeah.
made that same comment. It's like you can't script a physical performance in the ring, but you know who's going over, who's going under, what's broadly going to happen. Sometimes, the wrestlers do plan out, we're going to do this, in what sequence, especially if there's some sort of big set piece thing. But it's not scripted per se, but the outcome and the parameters are predetermined.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The meta-analysis of Powered by the Apocalypse is a 5,000-foot view of RPGs in aggregate, but it doesn't work on the one-to-one level where actual play occurs. It's an abstraction of RPGs. Yeah.
I would largely agree with that.
Yeah. Ginger Fraser really does shout, "Get fucked." It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have to cut the video, not cut it, but we were bleeping out swearing because we think it's funnier.
It's actually funnier that way.
Yeah, it's actually funnier that way. But in the actual play, we missed a couple, and I need to adjust the sound levels a little bit, so it will be re-exported and re-uploaded before tomorrow morning. Apocalypse World is competent indeed. In the hands of a competent GM, it can be molded into a far less ham-fisted RPG engine with narrative elements. Diaspora and Fudge have much to lend as well. So good.
I've never read the Apocalypse World book, the sort of core book, which you don't need the core book, but
So good roleplay and skillful acting are almost diametrically opposed, at least in their objectives. No. There's a big overlap between roleplay and acting, but they are two different activities. Acting is going to be a scripted activity. You have much more narrow parameters in which you're working with. And role-playing is going to be a much more open-ended activity because you are not, there is no plan. At least there shouldn't be a plan of what's going to happen. It's, you have a living world that you're inhabiting this character in. Within a movie or a play or anything like that, it's not a living world. The actor has certain things they're going to say. They are inhabiting the character within this very, very narrow, confined thing where they're trying to convey this specific story. But the actor doesn't get to go off the rails, you know? So they're very different in that respect, but there is a massive overlap. I often said that if one was to turn his RPG sessions into movies or TV shows, 50% should probably be written to be more punchy or left on the cutting floor. A lot of people have less than 25% to keep in. Correct.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, I would say that's generous.
Had a great session of our Elder Scrolls Mythras game last week. Nice. Been trying to incorporate your philosophy more into my games.
Hell
Very
yeah.
cool.
I briefly tried to run a Mythras Elder Scrolls game in Hammerfell, but I was stupidly doing it with internet people on through Roll20. We weren't using a VTT, but just I found these people that way. One day,
SSRI sanitized fantasy is the worst thing to happen to creative works. The biggest problem with actual plays, you know. Sounds like actual plays niche in the way that watching behind-the-scenes documentaries only appeal to a small subset of people who watch a film or show, more for the enthusiast.
I don't
Too many notes.
think that's the case. A documentary, at least, self-evidently has value. And I think just most actual plays are... It's just content that is... it really is a square peg in a round hole, I think.
Scrolling down quite a bit. See if we can pick something else up. Yeah, we're very, very far behind. BLG is truly worldwide.
Hell yeah.
Did they try to scale a mountain with a horse?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't get
That's
it.
a joke. I don't get it.
It's your joke is too high IQ for us this time. We watched like 28 minutes of that live play. Oh, they're talking about Kevin Crawford. Or not Kevin Crawford, Jeremy Crawford. Jeremy, white guys like me need to leave D&D Crawford. Okay. I do a mind reading show. In person, it's beyond amazing. If you watch it on video, it's the most boring crap you've ever seen. I had... during COVID, I was working remote, and I was forced to participate in a company recreation event over Zoom where they had a mentalist. And it was like, this fucking sucks. Runehammer makes good games, but his videos are cringe. I didn't even think his videos were cringe. I just wasn't hooked. I just wasn't hooked.
I think they're a little cringe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. What's a golem? Dane
Good
Seipel.
question.
That's a good question.
It's not like Dane Seipel would know.
Yeah.
It's not like he's artistically captured two already.
Yeah. What do we do? Let me see. Marshall's saying something to Mr. Max now.
In actual play, at some point, everything gets kind of blurry, and you wake up later with a sore butt and told this is normal for everyone.
Damn. That's rough, man.
Oh, God. Marshall, is Brandalorian Jesse Forgione asking for a super friend? I don't think so.
No, I think
Marshall is part of.
he's shown up as himself.
He's shown up as himself. Yeah. He is not a non. What is Marshall saying to Mr. Max? Probably can't read it, to be honest.
But I want to know.
Message retracted by Marshall Beaupre. Oh, stop. Okay.
What is this?
Marshall. Okay, what was your name? Did it used to be Beaupre? Looks like an Americanization. I just probably butchered that. Americanization of a French name. Okay. Sorry, I have to say the videos "You're Not an Actor and You're Not a Director" have been my watch again videos. Nice.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Yeah, those were a lot of fun
Those
to
have
make.
been very successful.
Yeah. I don't mind edited and upload live plays, but some get over edited, and I don't like when they cut out the rules, player dynamics, talking about what's going on, etc. In our actual play tomorrow, you will not be seeing any of the rules being cut.
Yes.
From it.
Yes.
It is
We are moving at a fast clip.
moving at a fast
talking
clip
about the rules as we roll dice.
as we roll dice and do it, but we do not gloss over any of it because
Yep.
all of it's important in Mythras.
And we even explicitly catch a mistake. I think I tried to use a drop foe
Yes.
special effect,
Yeah.
which I could not do because that is not a offensive melee weapon.
It's a siege weapon.
Siege weapon.
Special
It would have been
effect.
nice if I had
But
one
it's
of
also a
those.
firearms
I don't
special
make
effect.
live
Yeah.
play videos, but I take screenshots of my Roll20 campaign and make videos where I show them and narrate what is going on.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
much better format than sitting
Crawford
through
was
4
right, people
hours
like him
though.
should leave.
Crawford was right. People like him should leave. Okay. Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
If you're the type of person who says, I should leave,
BLG is my favorite anime, and my elf priest had his first night in the Shucked Oyster. Thanks to for what you do, boys. You're very welcome.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you for supporting us, man. All right. In a nutshell, the lulls in an actual play is an actual play is informative to the inexperienced. It helps to see that there is joy and immersion in a game that is not scripted and controlled. Yeah.
I mean, that's possible, some of the lulls, but I suspect that a lot of them, and for most groups, from an outside viewer watching, I think it would just seem awkward and like dead air. Not all the time. Not all the time.
Drew Stevens, no, you're missing this. We tried to do actual play, and it was bad, but we're good, so actual play must be bad. No. You are misunderstanding. We have done many actual plays in the past. We have played extensively online, and we are good at role-playing. However, these shows, outside of Critical Role, Dimension 20, and what was the other one? The
Like
Legend...
LA by Night or something?
Yeah. These things that are explicitly entertainment and are not, they are scripted to the extent that they are at least outlined. Those are not actual games. I challenge you to just look up actual play for whatever system that you want to find and try to fucking watch
Any of them.
like 4 to 8 randos online play one of these fucking games. It's unwatchable. It's terrible. And it's not because what they're doing at the table is bad. It's that if you were trying to make it entertaining for people to watch, you have to do it under different constraints than what you do at the table, because what you do at the table is not the same thing.
Right.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah. Why can't I enjoy the food I'm watching someone else eat?
Right.
You know?
We like we said, if you missed the beginning of this, we went through the whole process of how we did this multiple times.
Yeah, we did
and
this
the first time
4
that we did it, we're
times.
like, we're just going to turn on the camera, we're going to go, we're going to do what we're doing, and it was awesome, and it was
For
good
us,
role
in
play.
the
It was
moment.
awesome for us in the moment. But when we were like, is an audience
Yeah.
going to want to watch this? Like,
Let alone an
No.
audience. We didn't want to watch it.
we didn't want to watch it.
Right.
And it wasn't like, oh God, that was bad. That was
bad
cringe.
role play.
No,
It was no.
that
It's
was
just
not
it's
it.
not.
It was just like this.
You can't watch it.
This is not content. This sucks.
Right.
Actual plays from randos were very watchable when Shauna was commenting on them. Yeah, that's true. That is
But
very
you're not
true.
really watching
You're not
an
watching-
actual play.
yeah.
You're watching
Shauna.
a Shawner Mystery Science Theater show.
Yeah.
You're watching God's judgment.
Yeah. The worst part of watching a live play is when someone brings a full plate of food to the table and proceeds to stuff their face. Yeah. Or put more succinctly, you're not an actor, you're not a director. Yep. Such
Yeah.
good advice. Thank you.
That would
I'm
be
glad
a
that people
very-
have gotten value out of that.
Be a very funny troll. Very funny power move to just bring a whole cooked turkey. Start eating it with your hands.
Yeah. Is this a Mythras live game tomorrow? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes. It's pre-recorded. It's not live, but it is Mythras. But it will be a live premiere of recorded material. You need a Ugandan movie Joker, to be honest. Why are you running? Most actual plays need to be edited down to be listenable. The format itself is fine. The issue is that when it works, it isn't actual play. It is edited down, highlights are scripted. Yeah. I know because I run several. Cool.
Nice.
Like the one on Who Killed Captain Alex. Yeah, exactly. Talking about the Ugandan action movies.
I don't know what this is.
I'm sure you must have seen
I'm
clips.
sure I've seen clips.
Yeah.
I just don't recognize the name.
Right, they're so fun, dude. Because it's like these guys out in Uganda making action movies, zero fucking budget.
Zero
They're using
context.
like these like ancient After Effects things, but they know that they're doing like that they're kind of goofy and they're super funny though, super funny.
Interesting.
If an employer made me watch A Mentalist, I'd quit. Yeah, dude. It's like watching old sitcom shows and then they remove the add-in laugh tracks. It becomes awkward with the weird pauses. Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite
aren't
one
they
of those
laughing?
is they took all the laugh track out of Friends. There's a situation with Ross. He's upset because someone at work keeps eating a sandwich, but it's really sinister, and so they put this like sinister music over it.
I think actual plays can be good live, like Max and the Ford Group stream watchable actual plays, but I would prefer just to play the game myself.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
playing the game yourself is always preferable, and I'm sure Mr. Max would agree.
Right. Every minute you spend watching an actual play is a minute you could be actually playing. Not
Yep.
necessarily, because you can't just play at a moment's notice all the
Right.
time.
It's 3 a.m. Why?
Why aren't you role playing? Look at the one with Chandler locked in the ATM. Okay. God, I hate when this thing stops allowing me to scroll. Everyone in Uganda knows Kung Fu. Yeah. Yeah, anyway. We got about 10, 15 minutes left. We might call it early. I think I've said what I need to say on actual play. Please
Yeah.
check it out tomorrow. Also, please check out Colts of Zahak.
Yes.
On Kickstarter right now. It is going to be so good. And this has been fun talking, but
Yeah.
unless you guys got something else to say to us at the moment, I'm probably going to wrap it up. Look at the one of Chandler in the hot tub. Okay. Ugandan Wrestling Federation is also very fun.
my
They have
God.
an English dude really hamming it up as the villain with his "You should all be a colony" monologue. Keep being awesome, guys. All right. If it sucks, I'm texting you to tell you so. Well, you can
Let me
tell
know.
us in the chat. It's gonna
Steve would
premiere
know.
live tomorrow.
I
yeah.
respect Steve's
You can
opinion.
play at a moment's notice if you're a soloist.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
you're a soloist,
Solo
yeah,
player.
you can play. Yeah, $5. Thank you. Okay, later, guys. You brought back. I subscribed. Okay.
Oh,
cool.
thank you, man.
Nice. I'm glad you subscribed. Favorite Mythras setting
Like of the
of
Mythras
the Mythic
XYZ
probably.
line,
Yeah.
Mythic Constantinople is still
Okay.
my favorite, although I really love Mythic Babylon.
I haven't read them yet, so I can't comment.
What I'm
but
really interested in is
probably
Mythic
Britain.
Greece.
Probably Britain for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are y'all streaming elsewhere besides YouTube? We are not.
No.
Although some guy from Rumble did email us today about joining Rumble. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know.
I don't know. I
as like a
really
backup.
don't. I don't want to.
I don't want to do like extra streams or anything. Yeah. Good night, champs. All right, I have an idea for a bronze team. Let's hear it. I mentioned before, I think.
Oh.
All right, let's hear it, man. I wonder if there's a delay. He's probably typing. Don't use that word unless you have express permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Copyright violation.
All right. Well, you're taking too long to tell us about your Bronstein, man. We're gonna leave. Have a good night, everybody. Go back to Pulse of Zahak if you haven't, and check out our actual play, The Butchers of Avalok.
Yeah, let us know.
Coming out tomorrow morning. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yep. Take it easy, fellas.